Apple just officially launched its brand new Apple Creator Studio. And if you use Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro, or really any of Apple's creative apps, this is a pretty big shift in how Apple wants creators to kind of work moving forward. Creator Studio is essentially a new subscription bundle that brings together Apple's pro creative apps across the Mac and iPad into one package. So instead of buying individual apps separately, you can now subscribe and get access to the full suite under one monthly or yearly price. And so the subscription cost is actually pretty reasonable. It's $12.99 per month or $129 per year, with a much cheaper student option. If you are a student and you are into any creative design work or editing or music, take advantage of this. It's $2.99 per month or $30 for the year. Apple's also offering a free trial and in some cases extended trials if you recently bought some new hardware. With Creator Studio, you get access to Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro, and Pixelmator Pro on both Mac and iPad. Then on the Mac side, you also get Motion, Compressor, and Mainstage. And on top of that, Apple's also bundling in premium creative content and templates for apps like Keynote, Pages, and Numbers, with freeform support coming later this year. But if you already have Keynote, Pages, and Numbers, all of the core functions that you've used up until this day are still available. You do not have to pay for that. It's just some of the AI features and the premium content library. Now, a really important part of this announcement is how it affects people who've already purchased these apps outright. So like me, I've had Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro as one-time purchases, and if you're the same, nothing is being taken away from you. You can continue to use these apps exactly as you do today. And Apple says they will continue to receive updates. Now, some of the newer features, especially all of the premium content libraries and some other capabilities moving forward, are exclusive to Creator Studio subscriptions. So while lifetime owners are not being forced into a subscription, subscribers will get access to more feature-rich versions of these apps moving forward. Now, because I'm a daily user of Final Cut Pro, I want to show you some quick hands-on things and features that are new on the Mac side here, and then I'll briefly touch on the rest of the bundles and newer features that you'll get. But let's jump over to the Mac here. And on Final Cut Pro, as you can see, it does slightly look different. I think there's like some new colors here when you're importing footage for the first time or whatever. But for the most part, the UI is exactly the same. But there are some really cool AI features that are actually pretty useful. And we can start with transcript search. So if you're editing something like I do the podcast, I could look for specific keywords of things that have been said to make it so much easier for me to find a moment in that specific clip. And I don't have to watch a whole hour-long, 2-hour-long thing. And this works for any long clip in which you might say something and you really want to find it. Simply type it into the search field here. And after you import your clips into the library and everything's transcribed into English, which will happen in the background automatically, this feature will then find and highlight where you say those words in the clips. And you can automatically drag that into your timeline, which is pretty cool. You can also take this search feature one step further with a new visual search option where you can type in a subject like food or buildings, or in my case, it's a bunch of tech, so an iPhone. And whatever the object might be, the AI will scan through the clips and see exactly what matches that keyword and suggest those clips for you, making it so much easier to find what you might be looking for. If you make cuts to music inside of Final Cut Pro, or you want to spice up an edit by syncing your footage to the beat, it gets easier than ever. I mean, I used to have to rely on my counting skills and some musical abilities here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tap along to the song and look at the waveform. But now you just enable beat detection and you go up to the little magic wand here and select that option. And you'll see a bunch of these green lines that signify where you can make some of these dynamic cuts. So you'll have one for each section of the beat. The darker, bigger lines here are also notifying you where a song might kind of change up the tempo or it's like a different section of the song. And this is great, not only for editing to your music, but also if you want to make cuts to the song itself. Maybe you need this song to be 4 minutes long and it's 2.5, but there's a part of the song that you really like and you just want to loop it over and over again. This makes it so much easier to just copy and paste those sections. You can see right here with the help of the grid that you have everything you need to make those dynamic cuts. And as part of the Creator Studio subscription, you also get access to that premium content library across all of these apps. And with Final Cut Pro, you have brand new titles, generators, and transitions that might be useful to your projects. Now, Logic Pro gets some new intelligent music creation tools, including features like chord identification and enhanced virtual instruments. Apple is also expanding its included sound library with more royalty-free loops and samples. And these tools now work across not only the Mac, but the iPad as well as part of the subscription. Pixelmator Pro is also getting a big upgrade here. And if you want to see more of a deep dive on this, let me know in the comments. But you do get a brand new iPad app that finally brings the full Pixelmator Pro experience to iPadOS and is completely optimized for touch and the Apple Pencil with pressure-sensitive tools, intuitive gestures, and layouts that feel designed for the iPad and not just a port over from the Mac. And the big win here is that not only can you start a project on your iPad, then you can move it over to your Mac without any friction. And it makes it genuinely more powerful and a portable option for photo editing, design, and illustration inside of this Creator Studio bundle. And again, if you want to see a bigger deep dive, a full video, not only on Pixelmator Pro for the iPad or Logic Pro, let me know in those comments down below. Also, as I mentioned before, get Motion, Compressor, and Main Stage. Those are included on the Mac side for users who need advanced motion graphics. That's kind of your After Effects equivalent, I guess. After Effects is still somewhat better. Video encoding from Compressor, or if you perform live, you have live performance tools via MainStage. These apps are still available as standalone purchases, but if you subscribe to the Creator Studio bundle, you'll have access to those, so might as well mess around with them. Also expanding its productivity apps in a more creative direction for keynotes, pages, and numbers. Gain access to those premium templates that I talked about, intelligent layout tools, and a new content library with royalty-free assets. Overall, Creator Studio is Apple clearly signaling that it wants a unified subscription-based creative platform that competes more directly with other suites out there, like Adobe Creative Cloud. For some creators, this could be a huge value for you if you want to use multiple apps from Apple on Mac or the iPad. And hopefully this means Apple will more frequently update Final Cut Pro to help them compete with some of those other video editing platforms out there. But would love to hear from you in the comments down below, your thoughts on all of the stuff that we talked about in this video. This has been Dan with MacRumors. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you around in the next video.